Welcome to the Re-Entry Archive. Love Thy Neighbour, a Salvia Divinorum experience report, taken from erowid.org. Spirituality is what I use hallucinogens for. I desire to know the many colours, shapes and forms of what we humans have come to call God. I discovered Salvia sometime early July of last year. The experiences and other things I read about were enough to draw me in. I saw the good, bad and ugly trip reports, news reports, etc. But somehow for me, the good outweighed the bad. To start this report, I will specify the mode of consumption. Substance: 20x Salvia Divinorum extract, ordered from a reliable source the previous week. Device: a glass pipe I had obtained from a local smoke shop for smoking cannabis. So, to set the mood, I turned off all nearby lights, put away all sharp and possibly dangerous objects in case a bad trip were to arise. I put on a country music song, as this genre always relaxes me. So, after setting the mood, I began to pack what I measured and weighed to be about 3 milligrams, which I know was incredibly stupid to consume for a first-time trip on this stuff. Though, having prior experience with other substances, I made the dumb judgment that I could handle it. I grabbed my Zippo butane lighter after generously packing the salvia into the pipe. I held it up to my lips as I lit a tea-like smelling herb. Not even 5 seconds after inhalation, I began to feel as though I was falling, like falling through the earth. But I kept the flame to it as I continued to inhale, without letting out an exhalation. After the last of the herb burnt out, I took the pipe away from my lips, not before making sure every ounce of smoke was sucked out of it. I lay back as the falling sensation grew stronger, and into my couch I sank. After about 30 to 40 seconds of holding in the smoke, I exhaled. Right after I closed my eyes, as the song grew more powerful, I felt the song literally coursing through my veins, almost as if the song was my heart, and with every beat of the drum, blood would make its way through my body. The lyrics seemed to slowly morph into some archaic, ancient language that I didn't understand, but intrigued, I began to decipher them. Not even a millisecond later, I felt as though I was thrust in front of a giant wheel, turning ever so slowly to the tempo of the song. Strange writings and symbols that seemed familiar, yet so unfamiliar, adorned its giant seams. The wheel was shaped like one of those steering wheels you see on pirate ships in movies, but every branch was adorned with these symbols and writings. I could not even dare to comprehend, but yet I somehow knew the meaning behind every one. Then, out of some shadowy, dark, distant area that I didn't even know existed, a voice rang. It ran over the song. It made the song seem as though it was all but silent. I hearkened to the voice with both fear and curiosity. I didn't understand, or probably even hear, the words it spoke. almost as if it sensed my emotions, my feelings, and also my curiosity and my struggles to remember what the hell it said. It spoke again, in a language I don't know, but yet could understand perfectly. It said in simple terms, "Fear not, child. I am not an aggressor. I am someone you know not and know altogether. I go by many names and faces. I have many accounts written about me, many of the authors you know not and know. I am God, currently only a mere segment." Shocked, I stammered to respond, but eventually, after what felt like an eternity, I asked, "You are God?" After a light-hearted chuckle, it said, "Indeed. I am currently segmented as the mother hand. I segmented myself so not to overwhelm the human consciousness, for if a mortal were to comprehend my full divine state, they would be dead in an instant. Their brains would not be able to handle the sheer power that emanates from my being." I asked in response, "What might you look like, Mother Hand?" Then, in a flash, the darkness of the room went to light. The wheel was also gone. The light burned my eyes almost as bad as the salvia burnt my lungs. There, standing. That is pretty much the only way to describe it. In front of me was a hand of colour that encompassed all colours. It stood taller than any animal, human, building, or anything I have ever seen before. It stood so tall I couldn't fully comprehend its size. It was wide, probably 100 feet wide maybe. It spoke again. "I encompass every living thing in all of the universe and the heavens. I have many other forms as well. I am not only just trapped within the confines of the Mother Hand." 1,000 flashes of different shapes, forms and beings flashed before my mortal eyes. I saw familiar faces such as Jesus and other Christian, Jewish and Muslim interpretations of God. I then saw the Buddhist, Hindu and other Eastern faith interpretations. I saw Egyptian, Norse, Celtic, Aboriginal and many more interpretations of God. It then spoke again. "All of these faiths, who consider themselves enemies, are all believers in me, whether they would admit it or not. Humanity has pinned their own selfish desires against one another and say it is my will and my way. It is not. I am giving you this knowledge so that you may go and show them what my will and my way is. Share it, but my main lesson here is one of self-love. Love thy neighbour. Love and compassion is the only way." Many more countless words, lessons and teachings were taught, but as I am writing, they are only coming up in segments, so I am almost certainly skipping some parts of the story. Anyway, as these words were spoken, my body moved, and I felt my soul, mind, and body absorb everything that the Almighty Mother Hand spoke. The advice that Mother Hand gave me saved me. Mother Hand gave me my will to live back, to learn things beyond what the human consciousness should understand. although I feel it's best not to tell what she said personally to me about my issues and my problems. The central character of this experience, the Mother Hand, is possibly a representation of the Great Mother archetype. She is wise, gentle, and nurturing, but also overwhelmingly powerful and unconditionally loving. This archetype is commonly seen throughout religion and myth. Gaia, Sophia, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, are all representations of the Great Mother archetype. They are caregivers, nurturers, but most of all, they are custodians of the path to spiritual rebirth. Perhaps this traveller would find utility in connecting again with the Great Mother and asking this element of their psyche what lesson they were trying to impart. Additionally, what did the traveller feel they wanted from the Great Mother? Was it comfort, support, love? The visualizations of many depictions of God highlight a common theme that runs throughout humanity, transcending culture and creed. This is the realization that these myths all draw from a common central point extracted from the psyche. It is the understanding that regardless of colour, or language, or status, we as individuals have more in common with our human brothers and sisters than we have differences. In this, we realise that our conscious, unconscious, and spiritual experiences are all fundamentally no different to that of anyone else.